might bring you into their world. It's not just chickens and the Angus herd. So take off your boots, relax, and go beyond the ranch.
Good evening and welcome to the Wyoming Life Studios high atop what I'm guessing is like our kitchen, pretty much, right underneath us, right? Kitchen? Maybe dining room? I don't know. But we're atop something up in our attic. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And as always, we're just amazed that hundreds of people will come and listen to us yammer on every single week. This is the third live stream in a row. We do live streams every other week, first and third Sunday, right?
Yeah.
For everybody, and then the final Sunday of the month is reserved for our Patreon only live stream, which last week we want to thank everybody for coming to. We opened that up to everybody so everybody could get a look at what happens.
The newsletter.
The newsletter, folks. If you get the newsletter, you got an invite to last week's Patreon live stream, which probably 95% of the people that are here do. And you got a chance to see what a Patreon live stream looks like. They're a little different, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more fun. But we did get to see the return of the Armchair Rancher, and I did come up with a plan for that, that the new Armchair Rancher videos will actually come out on the Patreon only Sunday. But rest assured, even if you're on a Patreon, you will still get to see the last month's Armchair Rancher a little bit edited. It won't be the full length one, but it'll be edited down a little bit, and those will come out on the third Sunday for everybody. See what I'm saying? Are you following me?
Like in the newsletter, or like?
No, just during the live stream.
Are you gonna make the Patreon people sit through them again?
Oh, like, yeah, that's
You should put it in the newsletter.
I should put an abbreviated version in the newsletter. Good idea. Okay, so sometime in the newsletter, if you're subscribed to the newsletter, you will receive the Armchair Rancher, and you can choose not to watch it, or you can watch it if you haven't seen it yet. But it will be the short version as compared to the long version, which the Patreon supporters will get because they're extra special and they need a little bit of. They're a little needy, so you gotta give them a little something extra. No, you guys aren't needy. I'm kidding. But thank you very much for being Patreon supporters, and thank you to all of our new Patreon supporters who came on board after last week's live stream. There was a ton that said, "Hey, this is worth it. Let's do it." So, thank you very much for coming on board with that, and we appreciate it. So, how was your week?
It was good. How about you?
It was good. I'm kind of surprised that. It's only been a week since our last live stream. It feels like it's been longer than that, but definitely been busy around here. And I think as we head into October, things are about ready to get even busier. Today I filmed a video that comes out on Monday, which is our kind of walk around roundup. I don't know what I call it, but it's like we go visit all the animals and we see what's changed and what's new and what's coming up. And there was so much stuff that we have to do in October that I was just like, oh my gosh, we're doing this and we're doing this. And we're getting water ready for animals because we got the freeze coming, and we've got Preg checking on the way, and we've got the hat that needs to be blown up. We've got a new hat that's getting unveiled.
You didn't blow it up last year.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it this year. Gone Country wants me to blow this hat up.
I mean, you didn't.
It has been established. They were like, blow it up.
You didn't blow it up last year, and it was okay.
It was okay. It was okay. I'm not saying it's not like a therapeutic thing. It's just something that's fun to do. If it was therapy, it actually wouldn't be bad therapy. But I don't know what we're going to do this year. I don't think we're going to.
On Saturday, so I've got to spend this week getting ready for it. And we just do one fall basket, so it's not like a 4-week-long season or anything. So it is.
But it's a ridiculously large amount of produce.
It's basically I'm taking like 4 weeks of a basket and shoving it into one. So it's a bunch of winter squash and potatoes and onions and carrots and beets and kohlrabi and turnips and cabbage and a bunch of storage crops. And they'll get some meat and honey and a bunch of, and they'll get some fresh stuff too, like some spinach probably and some rainbow chard and things like that. So it's a lot of stuff. I think I have to get right around the $150 retail mark is kind of.
That's a lot of produce to hit $150. Holy smokes, yeah.
Yeah, it's a ton of produce to get out. So we're gonna spend the whole week that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry if your internet just dropped out there. Ours dropped out here as well. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but it reconnected. So if you lost us for a second there, that's exactly what happened. Erin was just explaining how much she has to get ready this week in vegetables. And is it just like, I know you've mentioned gleaning before, and that's when you go in and just kind of clean off your gardens. Is this your chance to do that?
Yeah, it is. We clean out, we get rid of a bunch of stuff, definitely get rid of what needs to get gone and stuff. But then it's also like, it's storage crops. That's what we market the fall basket as. So it is those winter crops that like they haven't seen yet. So if they get our summer basket, they haven't seen any winter squash yet. So that's what we're going to push.
We still have all the squash over there in that garden.
Yeah. No,
have you looked at? Is there squash?
There's
this is
some.
the new
not,
deer-proof garden.
It's not as good as last year.
But it's new. It's a new spot.
It was a new spot last year too.
Oh yeah.
It just wasn't a great. It was really cool in June, and so it's just not a great squash year for us. So hopefully we're gonna pick some of that tomorrow and see how it goes.
Very cool.
So if not, I'm gonna go to South Dakota and get some squash from my friend Nicole.
Right. What did you plant up? You did like a variety of squash over there.
Yeah.
Is there any that's doing better than other ones?
I haven't really looked.
Okay. It's hard to see.
Yeah, and the weeds got totally out of control and stuff too. So it's just.
I wouldn't have said those are weeds. I'd have said they're just squash plants or whatever they are.
Lots of weeds. Yeah, we're getting lots and lots of weeds. Hopefully there's squash underneath all the weeds. It is what it is. We're gonna next year I think we're gonna try and landscape fabric it. I tried that before. It just kept blowing away, but we're gonna try it again.
If we could get landscape fabric that's like 100 feet wide.
Yeah, because it's like
just one big piece.
It's 10,000 square feet, so it's 100 by 100.
Right. Could we sew landscape fabric together? Because it comes like what, 6 feet?
I think it's 6 foot, yeah.
So if you could sew it together in 100 feet lengths and then just have one big large piece.
If the corner blows up, the whole thing's going to blow up.
Well, that would happen, but then you have a giant kite flowing around over there. It would get caught in the electric fence.
It would get caught.
For sure it would. If you have any questions tonight, be sure to throw them up there for us. The guys that you see there in blue with little wrenches next to their names, those are our, do they have wrenches next to their names? Can everybody else see that? I hope you can.
I assume so.
I'm on the wrong side of this thing. So Bill the Tractor Man, Lori Hable, Jeff Lake is one of our esteemed moderators tonight, along with Matt Fensel, and I thought I saw William Dunn here, but he might have went to get a drink. Not exactly sure. So thank you very much to our moderators for keeping us all online. I think Zach Hewitt was floating around somewhere as well. I'm not sure if I saw him or not. So thank you very much to our moderators for keeping us all online, us included, because they definitely text us and tell us, hey, move it on. Nobody cares. Keep going. So tonight we're looking forward to answering some of your questions, also talking about what we do have coming up on the ranch as well. So boy, I'm looking forward to Preg checking, but I hate Preg checking at the same time. Preg checking is coming up this month, and this is the hard part. Every other year before this, we had more than one bull in with each group of cows.
Yeah.
So there was kind of a redundancy that was happening there. So if there was if there's one bull that wasn't doing his job, there was somebody else that could pick it up. Thank you, Michelle, for the t-shirt, by the way. This is given to me by Michelle.
Oh,
this
nice.
is Michelle's company that she worked for in Minnesota. So thank you very much, Michelle. If you have more than one bull in there, you kind of have a little bit of redundancy. This year, it's one and done. Like, we have one shot at this. And obviously, LOL, he was tested before he came to the ranch. So he serviced all of our heifers, so I don't see there's any problem there. However, we did not test Doof this year before he went in.
But
he's a 2-year-old. Or 3-year-old, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should be fine, but we're probably going to test everybody next year.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to
and it would
test
just
bulls.
be interesting, and like we've never done that. We've never tested bulls, so it would be interesting to see
how it's done.
Well, I know how it's done.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We can put in a video, and 9 million perverts will watch it. But whatever. It's kind of how it works. Even now, the video, the very first bull video that we put out, the one that got censored by YouTube, that one's still doing great, plugging right along. We don't make any money or anything off of it, but a lot of people go to watch it for some reason. And here's another interesting thing. I actually get a report that says like the most searched for keywords that lead people to our Wyoming Life. So a lot of times it's like cows, Wyoming, bulls.
Yeah.
And then like number 4 or 5 was cow sex. And I was like, really? That's the kind of, I don't know if anybody here came here because they searched cow sex and then they went on from there, but more power to you. You moved up, you graduated in the world. But yeah, the bull videos I'm sure will do great. They always do.
Yeah, and I think it's just interesting, to show that side of the cycle of cows, or like most people do test their bulls and stuff, and you can call your bulls based on that test and stuff, and so I think it'll be like they should both pass just because of their age. It's not till they get like 5 or 6 that you potentially want to get rid of them, but
Right.
I think it's just a good thing because we are very dependent upon, and like next year's breeding cycle will be the same, like because Doof can't breed his daughters. Like we kind of briefly talked about this the other night on the way home from town. Like Doof's gonna have to go with a certain amount of cows. LOL can stay with his heifer, there'll be cows, and then we'll get, because we're keeping our heifers back, we'll have to
buy
get
another
another
bull. Yeah.
And then in all likelihood, Doof is probably gonna be done after next year.
That year, then he can move on to another farm or ranch. I mean, he'll be young enough that somebody will still be able to use him. I don't think he'll go from us to the dog food factory. I think he'll actually be purchased by somebody else. Now we've had bulls before that we've sold that we know they're not going anywhere else.
Yeah.
They're done. But I think that
I
think he definitely will do well.
We'll see how he does, and it also depends. Like nobody's hurt or anything; they're all doing good. But like obviously they could get hurt over the winter or something too. Like and that would be just awful to feed them all winter, and then lose a bull in the spring. But you have to, like, we could test in the fall, but then it can change over the winter too.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen over the winter. Yeah. Pam and Joe said, "Erin, love your hair." I just looked at it in our monitor. Oh my gosh, it's like way up there. It seems like it's really high today. Is that normal? Do you usually have? It seems extraordinarily large. I don't know why. Is it like a beehive thing? But I know that was like in the 50s and 60s. But it's not. That's not what it is.
No.
But it definitely. It's taken up some real estate.
It's a little messy today.
Thank you, JB Weld, for the $50 super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Search Shooting the Bull and get live streams. Interesting. What about artificial insemination? We kind of talked about that a little bit too.
It's always a possibility. You still have to have a cleanup bowl and stuff to go with.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Be nice if you did, but yeah.
Yeah. We'll just see. I mean, it's just, that's always a possibility, is to just buy straws instead of buying bowls and stuff. It's not 100%. It's not guaranteed, but we could do a timed AI cycle, and
Yep.
Yeah, it might be something we do in the future.
We could get that done. We'll figure it out. Joe said Jeff should try bull riding. For one thing, I'm from Ohio, but bull riding's a big thing around here. Jeff has done bull riding. I've seen pictures. Now they weren't videos, so the bull might not have been moving. He may have just been like, whoa, But I have seen Jeff at the trampoline park acting totally not his age. So it wouldn't surprise me if Jeff would get on a bull. Probably not the good thing to, entice him to do or push him to do.
He's had a hard 27 years.
He has had a very hard 27 years, so we want to make sure that he's got 27 more, at least. That's what we're going for. Melissa Curtin, I was shipping something one time at FedEx, and a lady came in this huge metal container that was bull semen ship. Oh, yeah. Talk to Matt about bull semen. He'll tell you all about it. He is very, very well read. I don't know. He went down one of those rabbit holes one time.
Yeah.
Very much so. So, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them up there. Obviously, we kind of came in blind on this live stream. We kind of didn't really have a topic. Sometimes we do. Today, we really didn't, because today was kind of, like you said, you were getting ready for your baskets, so you were really trying to... I
wasn't even doing baskets today. I was trying to catch up with produce that I'd fallen behind on, so that I didn't have to deal with it next week.
Right.
So,
I did see some questions before we started about the hunters. Yes, we do have hunters on the ranch. October is hunting season. Great time to have an excuse not to go out and check cows, but I do have them check cows for me because I don't want to get in their way.
You checked them today.
I did check them today, but
and you checked them yesterday too.
you just have to time it
Yeah.
out. You don't want to screw up anybody's hunt, so you don't want to be out on the ranch when hunters are here because first of all you might get shot. Not that any of them would shoot me, but you never know. And if I put on my antelope costume, I can't even wear my antelope costume in the month of October because they all think they're all going to go shoot at me.
You should have an orange hat.
I should have an orange cowboy hat. I wonder if Gone Country could do an orange cowboy hat for me for hunting season. A little late now, but
I mean, I guess you could spray paint it.
oh, that's not a bad idea.
You have an extra one, don't you?
I don't think I have an extra one of these.
Not that style, but you
No,
have
but I have a few extra cowboy hats. When we started working with Gone Country, they sent me 4 or 5 hats.
Yeah,
And they
there's
said,
3
here, try
sitting
these out
over.
and see which ones you like. So
Are those all Gone Country? There's a hat rack over.
yeah, I can grab them. They're all Gone Country hats that didn't make the cut. At least on my head. I mean, I'm very particular about hats, and it took a while to figure out which one I wanted. So
Yeah.
actually, it didn't. This might have been the first one I took out of the box, and I was like, "This is the one I want," because I knew just looking at them, I'm like, "That's the hat I want." Yeah. So,
Thank you, JB, for the super chat.
are you gonna get a hat from Gone Country? Because they've offered to hook you up with a hat.
I'm not a hat person.
You can't fit this in a
Yeah, you
hat.
can't
She
put
would
that.
need like a weird shaped hat to fit all that in there. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not a hat person.
No.
It's not my thing. It's not my vibe. When are you switching to the black hat?
We'll be switching. It's hard for me to say that without giving away too much. We have a big announcement that's coming along with the black hat, and that it won't be ready until the middle of the month. So sometime towards the middle, we have a lot of stuff happening.
I mean, it still hasn't froze, and we don't have frost in the forecast for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So should I just say the first frost day? That's when I switch.
well, we don't know. I mean, the weather could change.
It could. It'll probably be somewhere in the middle of the month. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. It's hinging on a few other things that are in the process of happening. So and that I can't talk about yet. I mean, I could, but it would take all
We
the
can
fun out
wait.
of some other things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jeff said you need a 10-gallon hat. You remember the hats Byron used to wear? Big, tall, 10. Oh my gosh, those things are monsters. I think Gilbert had one actually.
I'm just not a hat person. I don't like it.
I don't know if I've ever seen you in a hat.
It's not my thing.
I know. I'm
And
just trying to
like-
remember if I've ever seen
I know,
you wearing
like,
a hat.
Gone Country's super generous and has offered to get me a hat and stuff, and like I appreciate that, but I'm not gonna sell out, man.
Wow.
No, I just like I've never worn a hat. It's
Right.
just not my thing and stuff, and so like, I mean, I appreciate that they would send me a hat for free, but I wouldn't wear it, so it would be a waste.
Would Carrie wear a hat?
I don't know, Carrie, would you wear a hat?
I know, and we might have to. I know they've offered to send Jeff hats too, and Jeff has a ton of hats. He just never wears hats in videos. He wears baseball
He
caps.
wears baseball hats.
But I wonder if they may make a Gone Country baseball hat. Maybe I could hook Jeff up with that or something. I don't know. No
I mean,
idea.
you wear a baseball hat most of the time too, so. But you know, it's good to have an assortment of hats depending on
your mood.
Yeah.
Your mood and your ensemble, and it has to match your belt and your shoes and all that kind of good stuff. Actually, I don't know if there is anything like that. Does your hat have to match anything?
I don't know.
I have no idea. No idea. Yeah, Patty said can't see you wearing a hat.
No. I'll just put sunscreen on. I'm good. I know everyone worries about skin cancer, but you know, there's sunscreen too, so.
Yeah, and honestly, like I see, maybe cowboy hats are coming back, but you see a lot of farmers and ranchers that are just wearing ball caps, anymore.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know why. Did we ever have a discussion? Like, was I ever like, hey, should I get a cowboy hat and start wearing
I
a
think
cowboy
Gilbert
hat?
told you to go get one.
Gilbert told me to get a cowboy hat because of the skin cancer thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we ever had a discussion where I was like, hey, should I wear a cowboy hat or
I-
shouldn't I? I mean,
It was a long time ago.
there is that, if you ever heard the term all hat and no cattle. I think we had cattle by the time I started wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I don't know if you did. That first winter.
I don't think I did the first winter. I never wore a hat. I didn't like hats, honestly, before I came here. Did you remember? I mean, I never
Yeah,
wore
no,
a
you
hat.
didn't.
Never did.
It messed up your hair.
Yeah, it did. Sure did. That's probably why I balded, because I wasn't wearing. I
You
never
didn't
wore a hat.
protect it. The sun.
Yeah, I didn't. I burned off all the hair.
The sun burned it off.
It all made, or there was
What's
nothing
happened
to
to
contain
mine?
it and make it run away.
How come I haven't burned mine off?
Well, that's a whole different thing. That's just good genetics. I've got a grandpa who was bald. I mean, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? At least, you know what I do have. When I look at, I'm like Lincoln. you're not going to go bald.
Why? Because you think he'll get my hair? His
Yeah.
hair is thick.
So isn't it if your grandpa goes bald, you're going to be bald if you're a male? I don't know how it works with females. I don't know if your grandma has to be bald, but like I think it's like your grandpa passes that to you.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But somebody will know because, the internet knows everything. Or, there's Google. So I guess I could look that up too. So, anyway. Hey, Dan, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you got off work early. Getting dark way earlier.
Yeah, and light way later.
Yeah, but we're pretty much done when it gets dark. So, somewhat. You still have to put in the ducks and geese. Oh, and we released the turkeys, and they're dumber than a box of rocks. So you can't.
Nobody ever said a turkey was smart.
Nobody did. Nobody did. You know what's funny to me is when we're doing the tour and people are like, "Oh, pigs are so smart." I'm like, I've seen some pretty dumb pigs. Like, I don't know if I've heard of my whole life that pigs are as smart as dogs. I don't know if that's true or not. Unless you have some really dumb dogs, and then that kind of balances out in the wash. But turkeys are just. Yeah, they're.
They always say if they look up when it's raining, they'll drown.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should. Well, I don't want to test that. Maybe go out with the sprinkler or the hose, see what happens. I don't know. We could stop before any of them get in any real danger. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they're not learning how to go in. They would go in on the other side.
They don't want to go in the new door, so they start out in the run.
Yeah, they're free range now.
And now they've moved out of the run, and they have to go in a different door, and it's a different color. Maybe that's what it is.
Can they see color?
I honestly don't know. That's another thing somebody can Google. But they do hang out, and they try to go in their old door, so they hang out that corner. There's like a little area they can get to where they can see their old door. And then we have to push, we have to like guide them back in. Jeff's probably out doing that as we speak.
No, I just saw him here chatting.
No, he's not. Maybe he should be.
It's pretty dark out, Jeff.
Maybe they're already in. We don't know. They could be.
Are the chickens getting it?
Somewhat.
It takes
Actually,
a few
Jeff and I have gone over to put them in the last couple nights, and what we're seeing is like this massive traffic jam that's happening because apparently we need like 2 lanes. We might need 2 doors. Because like they're just all.
Thanks, Jeff. Good luck.
Be right back. They all go, and Jeff will probably attest to this when he comes back, but he can't hear me anyway. So they all get like traffic jammed. So one will stand in the door, and everybody else is like, and they don't have horns, and they don't goose each other. I wish they would goose each other because that's what we have to do. We have to go stick our foot in there and kind of give them a little goose, get them to move. But yeah, they all hang out, and then of course the chickens are over in the corner. So if Jeff is going out to do chores right now, good job, Matt. You can go to our website, ourwyominglife.com, click on the webcams, which are a total mess right now because we had an internet issue and I had to redo all kinds of routers and crap, so I haven't got that all fixed up yet. The pasture cam is down. The only camera that's working right now is the goat cam.
Slacker.
I know I'm a total slacker. But you can go to the goat cam and watch Jeff do something. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Well, hopefully he's doing the chores.
Right.
Now, Ethel hasn't had her baby yet. I know some people have asked. Not yet.
No. Ethel was kicking Leonard earlier.
Well, he probably deserved it.
If you watch those, like Leonard will just chase everybody around. And then eventually the goats go inside, so then he has nobody to chase. So then he goes and starts picking on Ethel, and then Ethel kicks him. But then she goes and cuddles with him like 2 seconds later.
Yeah, they have like a love-hate relationship, those two.
Very much so.
It's very funny.
The other day they were in the petting zoo at the farm store, and Leonard was chasing the goats in circles, for like a half an hour straight. Carrie, I don't know where you were at, but Carrie finally got tired of watching it. So she went over and she put Leonard in timeout. So Leonard went up to the Aeroquip corrals where he could be separated off from everybody, which is not a long ways, maybe a couple 100 yards apart. And Leonard would bray, hee-haw, from the corral, and then Ethel would answer him, and I swear it sounded like she was just chewing his butt. Like, you got in trouble, and you got put in jail, and now I'm going to have to come bail you out, and I'm sick and tired of having to do this all the time. Man, she was mad. She was horribly mad at that.
They don't like to be separated, but
No.
they get tired of each other at the same time.
Well, isn't that how...
That's how life works.
Life works, yeah, exactly. You spend long enough with somebody, eventually you're going to end up yelling at them, and then when they go to jail, you'll yell at them even more. So, and he went to jail.
Yeah, Carrie had had enough.
Yeah, she was very much done.
Carrie really works hard to police the animals, and they don't listen to her.
She is kind of the, I don't want to call her the animal whisperer because they don't listen to her, but she's very much trying to control who does what and what does, whoever. But William asked, who's Leonard? I guess we can explain who Leonard is.
Yeah, we're babysitting a donkey.
Yeah, and he makes a pretty good appearance in tomorrow's video. I kind of introduce him in tomorrow's video.
He's a sweet boy.
Yeah.
He does not like Jeff, though.
I think they might be bond. I don't know. Watch the webcam because what was it? 2 or 3 days ago, he kicked Jeff and took off running and was done with him, and maybe they're getting.
And then he
better.
gave me cuddles and kisses and wanted loves from me. Not Jeff, Leonard.
I was gonna say what? No, Leonard is very. I don't know. He likes certain people. He doesn't like other people.
Yeah,
I guess. I mean,
it's
very
fine.
much so. I kind of wish I could pull up the camera and have it shown right now because apparently something's happening out there. Who knows? Matt Fensel is not on the ranch, and I saw a couple of questions asking when Matt was going to be back. Honestly, no idea. That's totally up to Matt and his family and how their situation works. But we still have Jeff on the ranch. Jeff is here until November, and then he will be gone. So, in fact, in tomorrow's video, I said, I explained, Jeff is on the ranch until November, and then when you send me an email on November 1st asking me where Jeff's at, I'm going to refer you back to this video, and you can watch this video because I told you when Jeff is leaving. But
Yeah.
Jeff will be leaving the ranch before
We don't
before
need to ask the
winter.
question every single day all winter long.
We do. We get
From
emails, and oh my God.
several thousand of you every
crazy.
single day, all winter long.
Where's
Jeff? I mean, we appreciate that you
Apparently
guys
he's
care
on the
about
webcam
him.
right now.
But yeah, our Jeff is seasonal.
Yes, very much
He
so.
will leave.
Yep.
He
He
may
will.
or may not come back. Who knows?
We don't know. Jeff is allowed. I mean, really, we like Jeff. Jeff
Yeah.
volunteers to be here on the ranch. I get it that everybody wants to be ranch hand Jeff, so I get why the appeal of Jeff. And he's a good guy.
If Jeff decides not to come back, we are not gonna publicize that we have an opening. Okay, we're just gonna handle that by ourselves. Okay, because there's just too many.
You
of
would be
guys.
surprised. I mean, hundreds of people that want to come and work here or do something here. It's crazy. From Easy, how much
Says
rain
all the
did you get?
webcams are down.
All webcams are down now. Oh,
That's too bad.
did we blow up the whole world? Maybe.
Well, Lorna says Jeff is with the donkeys. So.
Oh, well, maybe it's up. Anyway, how much rain did we get this month or in September? You think?
I
Got a
don't
couple
know.
inches.
It's October now.
Well, I know, but last month we got a couple inches of rain.
Yeah,
Enough to keep everything green. It's beautiful.
yeah. Do the ranch fantasy camp thing profitable and good for your subs? Yeah, somebody has to manage that, and we don't really We're actually running a ranch and a business, so it's kind of hard to.
I missed what question?
Robert Rossinelli, do the ranch fantasy camp thing profitable and good for your subs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be, we've talked about doing an in-person experience. We've talked about it since the beginning of our YouTube careers, and it's just really, really, we're legit running a ranch and a small
busy.
business.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I have a town job, and we got a lot going on.
And we got kids and everything else. I mean,
Yeah,
there's lots
and
of things
we love
happening.
meeting you guys. We do love it, and the farm store's open, and we have, and we do harvest host all summer. We get a ton of interaction from our fans, way more so than I think most YouTubers and stuff. But by the end of the summer, we're kind of maxed out.
need a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a minute. Yeah.
So it's just. Not that we don't want to see you guys and hang out and stuff, but it would have to be worthwhile for people to travel from all over to do it. So, I mean, we've always thought it would have to be a week long.
Yeah, if we
And
did an event, the problem, if we did an event where people came to the ranch and stayed in town, I guess you'd have to stay at a hotel because we don't have a hotel on the ranch, and then came out every day and went fencing and did whatever. I don't know. I just don't. First of all, it'd have to be a small group.
Yeah.
And it would have to be a small. So then it'd have to be priced ridiculously high.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd have 500 people here.
Yeah.
So you'd have to. It would just have to be one of those things that's almost unattainable for the normal Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it would be
and then you're ostracizing a bunch of people, pissing a bunch of people off.
right. I mean, it would have to be $5,000 per person for a week.
Yeah.
But and then but we would have to essentially leave our normal routine and lives for a week and do, ranch fantasy or whatever you want to call it. Like, it would just be...
I wish it was. Sometimes actually, Jeff and I were down. This morning it was really foggy, and Jeff and I went down to check cows, and I was like, "Oh, I'll get some pictures. Maybe we put them on the Instagram kind of thing." Did you ever put anything on Instagram?
No, did you?
No. But anyway, bunch of fog and stuff. And we get down there and we're looking for, I can't find the cows at all. So I'm driving around. And I said to Jeff, wouldn't it be weird if like the last 14 years was just a hallucination? And he was like, no, it wouldn't be weird. Because the strangest things happen around here. But like, it's, fantasy, like, ranch fantasy. Sorry, that made me think of ranch fantasy.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, and we're not a dude ranch and don't really have any desire to be a dude ranch. And if we, like, the in-person experiences we've talked about, like, would be educational or like...
Yeah, so if we did an in-person experience, you would want, or not, both of us would want it to be, why do you have a rubber band on your wrist? Is that like a snappy thing? Like, do you do that to like...
Produce.
Oh, produce. Isn't there a thing where you put a rubber band on your wrist, you snap it every once in a while, like if you're trying to quit smoking or something?
Yeah, produce.
Okay. Anyway, if we did an in-person event, you'd want it to be educational, right?
Right.
For people that are trying to do what we're doing, here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Now you can take that home and do it yourself. And we'd bring like Keith to show people how to, tie a fence or whatever.
The air conditioning is freezing.
Oh, what? Weren't you cold? You were cold. Were you cold last week? You turned up the heat.
No, I was cold.
Okay, I'm sorry. I should actually have that on my checklist before we do the live stream.
Freezing.
That we adjust the temperature in here to air and acceptable levels.
It's very blowy.
I could probably set a timer of some sort. I don't know. People are drinking right now, though, because you're checking your phone.
I'm turning down the air conditioner. I'm doing things, okay? It's not even that it's that hot, cold in here. It's just that it's very blowy. Hi, Matt. He texted me.
Matt texted you? Yeah. He's right there.
But he's right here, too.
Weird. I leave my phone over there because people text me all throughout the live stream, so I just leave them alone. Are you done with the meat check-ins for this year?
No, we have a few left.
Yeah, there's like, I think 10 or so. So, and there were the smaller ones. The rest of them all went away. We decided to not make a, excuse me, you made me on a chicken processing video this week, just because.
It's no different than the last chicken processing video we've made.
I don't know. Were we using the propane heaters last time?
Yeah, we have an electric scalder now.
So that's different.
You still scald the birds.
You still do, but.
So, it's. I don't know. Go watch the old video.
I actually had somebody send me an email and they said, "Hey, when's the chicken video coming out?" And I just sent them the link to the old one. There's the old one.
Here's the. Yeah, it really hasn't changed. We have Carrie now, but.
Yeah, so
it's still like the same process.
Carrie, I had to laugh. Carrie came out and she said, "I want to see how this end of things works." So I showed her, step by step on how you kill a chicken and you do all this stuff, and I don't think she liked it at all. Like she just turned around and walked away. Didn't even say anything. It was just like, okay.
She was learning.
I know, but it was one of those things like. It's horrible, but I would rather do that side of things than the side that you have to do.
Yeah, you hate our side.
I don't like gutting them. I don't know why. I think it's just.
I don't like it
Not
either.
that it's disgusting, but it's just. There's so many things that can go wrong. Like, it seems like every time I grab a chicken, and I don't know how you guys do it, but every time I go to do a chicken, it poops on me.
Yeah, the poop
every single time. They're not
the
pooping
worst.
on you all over the time.
Yeah, no, I deal with lots of poop too. The poop is the hardest thing. And, like, we don't feed them the day before. Like, they don't have any food in their craw. But, like, it's just, they still poop. Like, it takes a while to clean yourself out. So, it just, yeah, the poo is not fun. And they don't all poo on you, but some of them do.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. It's not the best experience. It's not my favorite day.
And I can't say, like, being on my end of things where I've got to kill them and dip them and defeather them is not the best, most fun time in the world either.
No, but blood's a little easier to deal with than intestines.
Probably, yeah. and they still do poop on me occasionally because they'll, you put them in that stupid cone thing and They have like the last rainbow coming out.
Yeah.
It's not rainbow
I remember
colored.
that first winter when we were doing it all in the shop because
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
cold.
Yeah.
And you had, you put 4 in the cones at one time. And we had like 2 that just...
Oh, gosh.
And it is like a rainbow.
It
and
is.
It,
It's
again,
ridiculous.
didn't feed them the night before or anything. But did you get pooped on this time?
No, but I had a couple that flipped out
Yeah.
of the deal, which happens. You just don't get them good
You need
enough.
like
for
a
the-
bungee strap over it or something.
Yeah, I kind of there's got to be something, but whatever. It is what it is. Would you ever do a paid class for processing chickens to teach people how to process chickens? I don't know if so. Here's the first number one problem. We're in Northeast Wyoming, so somebody would have to travel here
Yeah,
to
you have
learn
to
how
come
to
here.
process chickens. So then you have travel cost on top of it, and then cost of a class or whatever, our time, all that on top of it. There's plenty of YouTube videos. Out
Yeah,
there,
it's not. I mean, like I learned how to do it watching a YouTube video. Like you can do it. Just
Yeah.
watch a YouTube video and get a chicken.
Yeah. Cover their bottoms with it. Yeah, I mean, you could do a bag on it, but when you're doing 50 of them or whatever, like you don't want to mess with. Somebody told me too, like when you put them through the cone, their head has to come out the bottom.
Yeah.
So some people put a little, like a piece of twine around their neck, so that when they put them in there, they can pull the twine and their heads
Oh, then
pop
you have
out.
to put it
I'm
around
just
their
like,
neck.
just stick your hand up there and grab their head and pull it out. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it's different ideas, different people do it different ways.
Yeah, and
so.
that's fine. I
Yeah.
just think you need to have like a bungee strap screwed into because the flipping out is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a bungee strap,
Possibly.
you just
or a little door on each one or something. I don't know.
but their feet. Sometimes their feet stick out.
Their feet. Well, you hope their feet stick out. That's what you want them to do. If their feet aren't there, then you've got problems. Because when they flip upside down and they're staring at you, you're like, okay, this isn't working.
Yeah.
But it definitely happens.
Hey, you looked at your watch.
I did. Somebody can reverse a drink. No, that's not good. Don't do that.
Did the egg chickens get the message?
Message.
I mean,
I don't let them watch. Actually, you know what I did? So this is stupid.
We use a small bungee cord. They don't flip out at all. See?
Oh, there you go. When we take chickens now, I took them from the chicken run area where we keep the meat chickens, and I load them into this great big dog carrier, and then I bring them over. And then, I first when I started processing chickens, the dog carrier was facing, so all the chickens were like watching me do this in the dog carrier. And I was like, you know what? I'll just turn you guys the other way so you don't have to watch. And at least it's not. I mean, really, like that's horrible. That's like torture when they're just like, what's going on over there? Oh crap!
The
Like,
bunny, like that first winter, we processed almost everything in the shop because it was wintertime. It was like just like we were processing like November, December, January.
Yeah.
And the bunny lives in the shop,
Uh-huh.
and
he
like
had
we
to watch
wheel
the
him
whole
around and like move him around and stuff. But like I was, I think I did. I think one time I was like, you can just go over here.
I did the same thing with the chickens. I was just like, they were standing there. You know how the dog carriers had like that little grated door,
Yeah.
with the grates, and they're all just, there was like 4 of them standing there just watching, and their little beady eyes. And I was just like, I'll just turn that. I mean, you guys don't need to see this. It's just, and then you wonder why they're so hard to get out of the damn cage.
Yeah,
They're like,
back
I'm not
and,
going
like,
in there. No way in hell. Like, they know what's up. They know what's coming. Like, it's like watching a bad movie. So anyway, turn them away.
Yeah, I mean, and those guys have been.
They can hear it, though.
They've also
Yeah.
been through it with like the coyote and the skunk trying to get in, and the coyote did eat several of this batch of chickens,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, they've been through it.
Yeah. Melissa asked, when the A-team head to freezer camp? Well, we actually have some that are at processing right now. They will be back. When do we get those back? The beef that are over in Sturgis.
Yeah,
They've been over there a long time.
They're short on help. They're supposed to cut them tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So then
They get
like
some
a
in.
week or two,
Yeah.
and then we'll have them back. So Melissa will have beef back in stock 2 weeks, 3 at most.
I'm hoping the end of this week.
Oh,
I
very
don't
cool.
really have time.
Well, they've been hanging forever, so.
Yeah, I don't really have time this week to go get it, but we'll see.
We will see. Chickens were thinking, am I next? I don't. Just horrible. Not a good way
Can
to
someone
do
time
things.
out Carl J too? Because he needs it too. Thank you.
You're
it's
paying
fine,
attention
I'm
more than I am,
watching,
that's
yeah.
for sure. A-team, the A-team now that we have now heads to freezer camp in November.
Yeah.
Correct. So also coming up this month, and I shouldn't give away all the spoilers in tomorrow's video, but coming up next month, we are actually going to weigh the A team and the B team and see how well the FBN, the grow mix that we gave them, the mineral mix that we gave them, see how well that does and how much they've been gaining compared to the months past. And we have all that, all those records, so it'll be really easy to bring them over, get them weighed, and see what the difference is. And hopefully the grow gain made a difference.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think the B team will be on it for their entire finishing career.
Correct.
The A team is getting it halfway through. So
We should see a little bump, though.
yeah, well, I think I think we won't be able to say for certain whether or not it's working until B team is all the way through the process.
We could compare the last month with the A team. Well,
So they also
Yeah.
gain at a different rate per day, depending on whether they're on, and if they're on day 1 of finishing or on day 119 of finishing. Like
Right.
it, because you up their grain every week. And so like towards the end, they're gaining more weight per day than they do at the beginning.
true. Very
So
much so.
we really have to look at like a whole finishing to see if it's working or not.
Right.
So
Interesting question from David Thompson. Found a place to buy a half a cow for $6 a pound hanging weight. Is that a good price?
it's kind of high. But
It's a little
not.
high, but not, I mean, for who knows? I mean, we haven't sold a whole cow for a while.
Here's the thing: how is it finished? Is it grass or grain?
True.
How old is it?
True.
What kind of cow is it?
Right.
What's it hang at? What's its weight?
Yeah,
Do you get to custom cut?
correct.
Like,
How is it processed? What's it wrapped in?
Yep. Is it USDA? Is it
We
vacuum
made a video
sealed?
about this
Yeah.
sometime in the past.
Is it vacuum sealed? Are they delivering it?
David said
Like,
it's grass finished. I mean, there's a ton of questions you can ask.
Yeah,
and
I think it's on the high end, but it's not. It's not. It's on the high end, I would say. But I also don't know what, like, processing could be a big part of that, right? So like I don't know what processing is going in your part of the country. So
very true.
yeah.
From Russ Meredith, what's the risk that the water line and the new faucet freezing you just installed? I mean, zero.
It's a frost-free
Yeah,
hydrant.
it's a frost-free hydrant.
We have those hydrants everywhere, guys. Like, it was not a new...
No, we didn't.
We use those
no.
everywhere.
Yeah, you have to, obviously,
Yeah.
because 6 feet below the ground, it's not freezing, but yeah, you can't have water, even on a trickle, like it's going to freeze.
Yeah.
So definitely something you got to be conscious of. So
It'll be good.
exactly. Jeff, how were the animals? I didn't get to watch. Hopefully everything went well, and everybody was very well behaved. We were waiting for Leonard to try to take you out, but apparently that didn't happen, or at least I didn't hear about it if it did happen. So I don't know.
Well, apparently cameras are broken.
Well, no, they were working. Somebody
somebody
said
said
the
they're
Go
broken.
Cam wasn't working, but then 87 people said it was working. So
Refresh.
might have been user error. Who knows? It happens. So Bill the Tractor Man said that a lot of variables. My area, $3 to $4 for good quality for a half. And that's a little low.
Yeah, that's low. Like
Yeah.
that's because we've charged $4.75 a pound for a long time for hanging weight, and so that's also. Are you buying live weight? Are you buying hanging weight? Are you buying? But you said hanging.
You're buying old cow, 3-year-old
Yeah.
cow, 8-year-old cow. There's
Yeah, I
definitely-
think 3 to 4 is super low. We've never charged 3. We've never charged 4. We've always charged $4.75.
I saw one on Facebook not too long ago that was $2 a pound hanging weight.
Oh my God.
And then don't check. Then you go down and you look a little bit lower. It was an old bull,
Oh.
and I mean the only thing you could really do is just grind it all. Yeah, I mean what are you gonna? You don't want a roast that. Oh yeah, not
You don't
be
want
good
steaks.
at all. So
And did they have to pay the processing?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, so that's, like to get a cow processed at a USDA facility is $800 to $900.
Yeah, but if you have state processing, you save a little bit of money that way.
$750
Or
to
if you have
$850.
Your neighbor Carl,
and,
who has a really sharp knife and a winch.
You gotta think like a bull weighs a lot,
Yeah.
right? So like you pay. It doesn't matter if you're grinding it all out. Like you pay based on that hanging weight.
Right.
That's
So
what
for
you pay
us
for
to have our,
processing.
like when we have a steer that leaves the ranch, we're looking at least $800 to process that steer. If we have a trailer with 5 of them, obviously.
It's 800 to 900.
Yeah.
And then it depends too, like if you get any, like when we get hamburger patties made, there's an extra fee for that.
Right.
With pigs, there's a fee for curing and smoking. So bacon is a fee. Bratwurst are a fee. The ingredients to go into the bratwurst, like that's a fee. Like all of that costs extra. So yeah, it's processing is expensive and it's gone up, and like our like per pound price hasn't necessarily gone up, but like some of the other variables have gone up.
Yeah.
So
Packaging, labels,
yeah, the variable, the value added stuff especially has gone up. So which is labor intensive. So like that makes sense.
Yeah, and if you can't find people to do it, you know, you're going to raise your price to try to slow down the workload, obviously, you know, so.
Yeah, so, and if you're getting paper wrap, like Bill said, then that's less. Like vacuum sealing costs more. And like they don't charge, like Sturgis used to charge, because they used to do paper and vacuum, and you had to pick. They used to charge us like 10 cents a pound to vacuum pack, but now everything's vacuum packed. So I wouldn't buy paper wrapped personally.
If you're eating it fast enough, you're probably fine.
Well, if you're buying like a quarter.
Maybe. I mean, if you have a huge family that can eat a half a cow in 6 months, paper wrap's probably okay. If you're just eating beefs, you know, who knows? Lori Gary and her just got done celebrating 22nd wedding anniversary. Congratulations, guys.
Congrats.
Really quick, anybody, obviously, what is it, a hurricane? Ian? Is a hurricane?
Yeah,
Make sure you tropical storm, hurricane, whatever.
Where you been?
I've been working. Honestly, I don't watch a whole lot of news anymore, so I kind of rely on Erin for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, there was a big ass hurricane.
I actually felt really bad because here's how I found out about Hurricane Ian. I'm talking to Keith at Gone Country Hats, and he's in Orlando, Florida. And he said, yeah, we're looking for a little bit of rain. And I was like, oh, you're going to get some rain. I'm thinking, it rains like every day there. What's the big deal? And so I got off the phone with him and didn't really think about it. And then Erin mentioned the hurricane, and I was like, oh, crap, now I look like an idiot. So, then I had to text him and hope everything's okay. Actually, Gone Country Hats, perfectly fine. Their factory, everything else made it through it just fine. But if anybody was affected by it, our thoughts and prayers go out to you guys. It's horrible, what the weather can do so fast.
Yeah, just devastating to everyone down
We saw
there.
videos that were just insane.
Yeah,
you talk about, Dan's talk, weather in North Dakota is bad. And it's interesting to see how different parts of the country obviously have different
we get a
types
blizzard.
of weather you have to deal with.
I mean, we get a blizzard
we
get a blizzard every year. Like we need to build for 70-mile-an-hour winds, right? Like it happens all the time. And I know there's different weather in different parts of the country that like everybody is accustomed to and stuff, but like water's so destructive.
Oh yeah, and I don't understand buying property below sea level. Don't really get it.
Well, it's really pretty.
Well, yeah, I get it. Right? It's awesome, and people would say the same thing to us. Like, why do you live somewhere that it snows? You're an idiot.
They do name some blizzards nowadays.
Do they really?
Yeah, they name blizzards.
Does anybody know the name of a blizzard?
They name those bomb cyclone
blonde shells.
Those bomb cyclone things that we get. Yeah, lots of boats in places that they're not supposed to be.
Bad boat. You're not supposed to be here. Bad boat. I don't know. Jeff asked if we could have the blizzard before April next year. Honestly, usually in April. That's our blizzard
and
time.
May, we're supposed to have those big blizzards in. I mean, because it's because of temperature, right? That because it's warmer, we get those heavier wet snows, which we need for the grass.
And for reservoirs and everything else.
But in December, January, February, we still get blizzards, but it's different than those wet spring.
I know,
snowstorms.
when we get snow in even November and December, it's a different type of snow. It's powder. It's dry snow. There's not much to it.
It's fluffy.
It drifts a lot because you see, the wind blows it away, so it snows here, and then there's drifts in South Dakota. But yeah, it's just everywhere you go. Obviously, there's different things you have to deal with weather-wise. I don't know if you could. What's going on?
William's comment.
Hurricane Megatron. Very true. We actually talked to was it you saw it on TikTok or something? Somebody they left, but their parents stayed.
Yeah, it was just somebody
Yeah,
on TikTok.
people do. I mean, they'll stay.
People
I don't
stay.
understand it. Like, if I, hurricanes. Of course, we stay during blizzards, so people probably think we're crazy too.
Yeah, I mean, it's your home and stuff. Like, it's hard. I don't know. It's hard. And then, the weather, your forecast changes. We see that all the time, like with blizzards and stuff. Like, I mean, we even saw it with rain and, like thunderstorms and stuff. We can get devastating thunderstorms and hail and stuff, and it can come out of nowhere, or even it can be like, oh yeah, moderate chance of weather, and then like there's softball size, hail falling from the sky, and like,
yeah,
you're not prepared for that.
So the hunters are here with us this year, and I think it was the first ranch roundup. I think it was 19. That they were here for ranch roundup, and then like the day after ranch roundup, we had a big hailstorm.
Yeah.
And they're from California. They never see hail. So they went running out into the hailstorm to get like hailstones. Is that what it's called? Hailstones? Is that what you call them? Hail?
I just call it hail.
Hail. Whatever. They go running out to grab these things. And I don't think they realize these are falling rocks, right? So they go running out there to grab. They're scooping them up so they can take pictures, send them home to their wives or whatever. And oh my God, they came back and they were beat up and like had never dealt with that before. Hail.
I was at a fundraiser for EPP one time, that same summer in 19, and we were at a fundraiser, and it started just sporadically hailing, because that is just what happens here, like 2 raindrops and then hail. Right. Well, it was like not a lot of hail, it turned into a lot of hail, but like we were trying to like pick up and stuff because we were outside and trying to get all of our stuff cleaned up, and all of a sudden you're just getting, you don't see them coming, right? Like you're not looking, and so all of a sudden you just get pegged by something hard in the head. Like, and it's just like it hurts, but it's also like just super surprising, even though it's hailing.
We've had that rain. I think like when you make the mad dash from the shop to the house, and that rain that hurts. Yeah. I couldn't imagine being in a hurricane where it's doing that sideways. Awful. Although we do have snow that comes in sideways and smacks you in the face, and knocks you on the floor. Yeah. But hurricanes are something I don't think I could mess with. Like if there was one type of weather that you would be like, you know what? Nope, I'm out. Like you could deal with blizzards, heat waves, tornadoes. We've had tornadoes. I mean, come on,
Yeah, but we don't live in like Tornado Alley. We don't get like big, huge tornadoes.
No, but we get a tornado warning, and it's like, okay, we'll see what happens.
I take those kind of serious.
At least we come inside, I guess I should. I mean, it's not like we're all going down to the basement and hanging out in the basement.
Yeah, I mean, I think tornadoes are scary, but we don't get huge ones here.
No.
Like, I think the biggest are ever like F3s, which are scary.
Enough, yeah.
That's plenty. Like, that's pretty devastating.
I think the hurricane, though, would be the one that I would be like, you know what, I'm moving. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to live somewhere where my house is here one day and gone the next.
Well, we're not moving to Florida.
No, I wouldn't be. I just couldn't do it. I could not deal with that, just being up in the air.
If we had a tornado, our house could be
but
sufficiently
I don't have to.
relocated.
But people like, we just rebuilt. What do you mean you just rebuilt? Well, this happened 3 years ago.
Well, it doesn't happen that often.
Well, there are places where this happens over and over again, and people just rebuild every single year.
Ian was a big one.
Ian was a big thing. I'm just, I couldn't do it. I'm just saying, more power to you. I couldn't do it. I would move. Okay. Of course, if you're raised in it, maybe it would be like, okay, here comes another hurricane. Batten down the hatches.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think if you put somebody from Florida into one of our spring blizzards, they would be like, GTFO, man.
I'm moving to Florida, where the worst thing I have to worry about is a stop sign flying sideways at 80 miles an hour and smacking me.
I mean, there is that, like, we are accustomed to what we know and stuff, and so, like, if you are from Florida, grew up there, you're accustomed to hurricanes, every 10 years. We always joke that, like, you don't ever have to buy siding and roofs in Wyoming because a hailstorm will just take care of that for you. Like, we commonly get golf ball or bigger hail. Cars, you're just,
all of our cars have hail damage all the time.
Mine does not.
Not yet.
Yours doesn't either. Not yet.
My tonneau cover is dented to crap. Like it went through. We bought it used.
Maybe they fixed the other.
I think they fixed everything else. They didn't fix the tonneau cover because the tonneau cover just looks like it got pelted with golf balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. So I think we're just used to that. It hails here.
whatever it is. I don't know. I don't get it. How do metal roofs hold up there? We do see a few metal roofs.
I mean, they'll still get dented.
Yeah. I remember one of our neighbors put a tin roof on, and his worry was that it was just going to be loud all the time. You know, which is probably true. It probably is, yeah.
Yeah, because the sales barn.
Well, if you're in the sale barn, yeah.
Yeah, it has a tin roof, and so, yeah, it's loud. But, yeah, I mean, they probably do better than shingles.
Since we're talking about weather, this winter here is supposed to be a pretty tough winter.
Yeah, that's what
So
the
we're
farmers...
looking forward to that. Honestly, though, we need the snow for runoff and everything else. So
Yeah, we haven't had a super snowy winter for a long time, so bring it on.
don't say that.
Well, I saw something this spring because like North Dakota and Minot, North Dakota and all of
North Dakota and Minot, they're two separate areas.
they got way worse snow than we did. They had like just back to back blizzards, like huge blizzards and stuff. And I saw like somebody said like it takes a calf killing storm in order to break droughts, and like we got super lucky during the blizzard that we didn't lose any calves, but we should have, right? Like with that much snow and the temperatures and the wind and stuff, like we should have lost calves and stuff. And like in all reality, that is it's kind of true, right? Like you need a significant snow event to break a drought.
Right.
And like even though we got to cut hay and stuff this year, like yield wasn't as high as it has been in the past, and like we're not out of a drought cycle yet. Like I think we're climbing out of it for the first time in a long time. This year was much better, but it could, if we don't get snow in the winter, like we're going to be right back in the same situation as we were the last 2 years.
Right.
So.
Right. Get ready for a rerun if that happens.
Yeah. So we need snow. We need to fill up our reservoirs. Our aquifers need to be filled. Like we need snow.
Right.
So it is what it is. I hope it's not like the blizzard of 49. But,
yeah.
that is a snow event that none of us have lived through.
No. The blizzard of 49, literally the highway that's in front of us, they came out with dynamite and blasted the snow away from the highway so they could actually clear the snow. There was nothing they had that could get through that snow except for dynamite. They were doing airlifts for cattle, for feed. They were pushing bales out of the back of airplanes to get feed to cattle. So not that we would have to do that. But I mean, that's where we're lucky with having a smaller herd, being able to manage that herd more intensively, and being able to take care of those calves. I think you're right. Like we should have lost calves this spring in that storm that we had. But having Jeff here, having you here, having me here, and being able to really concentrate on the cows.
I didn't do anything.
You did. You woke me up and said, "Go check the cows." And then when I tried to go back to sleep, say, "Get up and go check the cows."
Yeah, that's my job.
But being able to really, really pay attention to what you're doing. I mean, we've had years where it was just me out here and I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So having Jeff here and being able to really concentrate and having a smaller herd size made a big difference.
Yeah, it helps. Everybody fits in the barn super nicely. And they did even with Gilbert built that barn to handle a lot of cows.
Right.
But, it's not, it's just a 3-sided barn. There's no heat and no individual stalls for everybody. And I know some people think that's the worst thing in the world, but it does its job.
Yeah, it definitely does.
So.
20-foot snow drift. We didn't have 20-foot snow drifts. Close to it.
No, that was another blizzard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that was in 49 probably. 20-foot snow drifts across
I think
highways.
in 78.
Maybe.
Read the comment right above that one.
I didn't. Blizzard 78. Okay, sure.
In the Midwest.
Oh, okay. Well, it snowed here too, I'm sure. I have no idea. I was 3. I don't know. I don't remember it. I vaguely remember Mount St. Helens. You don't remember Mount St. Helens, but I vaguely remember.
We had a big blizzard here in '84. I don't remember it, but
No.
I saw the pictures.
Did they put you out in like a snow
Yeah, my
drift?
mom was holding me next to a snowdrift.
Oh, nice.
That was like as tall as the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was like how it drifted around the house, but it was, I remember that picture.
David Westfall, he's, if I remember right, in Fort Myers, I think. So, no power, privacy fence, landscaping gone. Fifth wheel generator, yeah. So, definitely helps out. I saw some video from Fort Myers, and there was just water just running down the streets. It's insane. I don't, like I said, don't know if I could do it. Couldn't make
Water's
it.
Scary.
That is true.
Yeah, water is super scary.
Yeah, when you've got people that their lower levels of their house are filled with water, that's not normal. That's not supposed to happen. You know, we don't live in fish tanks. Some people do, apparently. So, not a good thing. Not a good thing. Yeah, the YouTube documentary about the blizzard. I'm not sure if that was YouTube. I think it was PBS, actually, Matt. But it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. The blizzard of 49 was really interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, as we move into the month of October, what are you looking forward to in October?
So I have like a love-hate relationship with fall because like I hate that it gets cold. Summer is the superior season. So I hate that
it's a superior season.
Yeah. I hate winter. Winter's the worst, and fall is before winter. But I'm tired of the gardens. Not tired of them, but like it's time to be done.
You've actually done way better this year. Like
Yeah.
I've seen Erin in years past when it gets to the point where you're just like, I'm done. Like screw it. They're on their own.
Yeah.
You've been pretty dedicated those gardens all summer long, and you've had help, which has made a huge difference.
Having Carrie here and stuff has been, you know, it's just so much different this year. But I'm ready to put away the gardens. I'm ready to do all the processing from the gardens, like, and that's where like the struggle is and stuff right now is like it hasn't froze, so everything's still just doing its thing out there, which is great. But at the same time, like, you know, I still have a high tunnel full of tomatoes, and I'm trying to make salsa, and like we're freezing tomatoes like crazy because I don't have time to make salsa. We've done a little bit, but or like today I cut corn off the cob and just threw it in the freezer and I was like, I'll deal with this later.
What's your plan for that?
I'm gonna make cream corn.
Oh, okay.
But it's just been like I'm ready to like not have to take care of the gardens, and so I can do like the salsa and make the cream corn, and like we have tons of beets this year, so I want to make pickled beets, and like I just want to get that. I want to switch into like the preserving the garden situation, not like maintaining.
Do you like canning?
It's okay.
Okay. It's inside. It's indoors.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Like I'm always like, oh, I'll just like make some salsa and that'll be fun. 10 hours later, like you pull the last jar out of the canner. Like it takes forever.
Yeah.
So.
I sometimes help.
Yeah, you're good at putting stuff in and out
I'm
of the
good
canner.
at putting stuff in the water.
Yeah. But it's been a pretty good growing season. There's a lot of produce still in the gardens, and a lot of it will be fine even through a frost. Like carrots and beets and stuff. Like I'm not in a huge hurry to get that stuff out of there.
Are you going to pickle all the things?
No.
Because we're going to have carrots and stuff.
I'll just sell them in the farm store.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, we'll just start pulling them and take the tops off and start selling them instead of in bundles with rubber bands. Yeah, we'll just top them and sell them.
Move on.
Yeah, so I do want to make some pickled beets. So.
My favorite thing about the month of October is Preg checking. 2 reasons.
I hate it.
Well, it is very stressful. Like we were saying earlier, you don't know. You
It's
know, you
always
have
the
one
weather's
bull
always
for each
so
group
bad.
now. Yeah. You always panic, and every cow that goes through, and oh, she's open. I hate hearing that. Open. You know, but this year we're Preg checking soon enough that I'm hoping we actually get due dates. Very rough. When I say due dates, I mean like maybe due dates. But getting those dates for the cows, I think, will make a huge difference for calving next year. But I think we're on track. I think if the bulls did their jobs, because that when you Preg check, that's almost like your first indication of next year's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like we're going to have calves. You're going to have income. You know, you do have to look at it and say, okay, we're going to lose, you know, a certain percent of calves every spring. You know, like we're going to lose, you know, 3 or 4 or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But like you do know, it is very much like when you get the Preg checking done and you've got your empties over here and you've got your bred cows over here and you know these ones are pregnant. It is kind of like a sigh of relief at the end of the season. Like, okay, we're good. Let's just get through winter.
I hate the weather. It's always crappy.
Yeah,
But
that's
we're
true.
not Preg checking in December, so.
And honestly, like I think the way that the aero clip is set up, like it does block some of the wind. I've
It's
noticed that
still
we've had
awful.
well, it's still cold, but I mean, you don't have to come help if you don't want to. I think Jeff will still be here. Sure, we could drag in a volunteer from somewhere.
Yeah, I'll help. It's fine.
And we are filming it this year, so you guys actually will be brought along. We're not live streaming it, but we will be filming it, so you guys will be able to come along for for branding also. So Alan asked if Jeff is staying throughout the winter. Nope, Jeff is out of here beginning of November. He'll be heading back to California and then on the road doing his RV thing. So who knows? You might even have a Jeff sighting in your area.
Just give
Ooh,
Jeff
wouldn't
the
that be
winter
weird?
off. You don't have to.
I can't control what people
updates.
do. If he happens to roll into Tucson on November 8th at the Walmart, I can't stop who's going to be there.
He's not even going to get a campground. He's just going to be at the Walmart.
He probably would. Well, it's easier for people to find him there. You could stop by and say hi to Jeff. I don't know. Alrighty, guys, that's pretty much it for us for tonight. We really do appreciate you hanging out with us. Of course, if you cannot get enough of these live streams,
I'm tired.
Are you?
I guess.
Oh, that's because I roofied your drink. If you can't get enough of these live streams, feel free to head on over to Patreon.
I don't think
Patreon.com.
you should say that.
I'm sorry, I didn't. I honestly didn't. If you can't get enough, head on over to patreon.com/OurWyomingLife. Sign up as a Patreon supporter, and we do have a bonus Patreon-only live stream, which happens on the last... Is it the last Sunday of each month? Yeah, something like that. So anyway, thank you very much for hanging out with us, guys. We really do appreciate it. New video due out tomorrow. We're going to go take a look at the animals, and we're going to talk more about what's coming up for the month of October. So until then, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thank you to our moderators for keeping us all online. Jeff Lake, Matt Fensel, Lori Habel, Bill the Tractor Man, along with William Dunn and Zach Hewitt hanging out with us and keeping us in line.
If I'm not at the next live stream, you guys know what happened. I got roofied.
Those wear off. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you next time.
You put too much in.
Well, you're still yawning, so you're still awake.
Jeez.
Did you switch drinks with me? Because I'm kind of tired, too.